Welcome to Ask Psych Sessions, where we ask some of the best teachers in psychology questions from you, our audience. If you would like to send in a question or an idea for a conversation, please visit bit.ly/AskPsychSessions. That's bit.ly/AskPsychSessions, all lowercase, no spaces. And here's our next question. I am here with Jennifer Thompson from the University of Maryland Global Campus. How did I do?
You did very well.
Good. Jen, thanks for being on this episode of Ask Psych Sessions. You were one of the first people who actually came to my mind when we were considering doing a response series to what's going on in higher education right now, which is lots of institutions are asking instructors to stay home, asking students to stay home and go online. And for many of us, that's uncharted territory, but not for you so much. You're pretty familiar with this world. Can you just tell us a little bit about your role over there?
Yeah, so I am the program director of psychology of a program that has about 95% of its courses are online. I have 4,500 enrollments so far this semester. So it's a pretty large program that is primarily online. The rest of our courses are in a hybrid format, so blended with an online component and a face-to-face component.
Okay, and how long have you been doing this whole online thing for?
14 years.
Okay, all right. So I'd call you a veteran. Would that be safe to say?
Yeah.
I just want to ask you a couple questions, and I want to make these sort of general and just see where you go with them, because I imagine that you've been thinking a lot about these instructors who are going to have to take their courses online for the foreseeable future, who some of whom have never taught online. Do you, before I kind of just let you go with it, do you have instructors who you hire who have not formally taught online and that you have to train up, or that your institution has to train up?
Yes. It's becoming less and less frequent that individuals haven't had an online course themselves or taught, at least co-taught an online course, but absolutely we hire faculty who are just really great teachers and want to sort of expand their portfolio to teach online.
Okay, so in some ways you have experienced, or your faculty have experienced what many people are experiencing, maybe not on such a rush timeline, but having very little experience at it, and now having to adjust and adapt to the online classroom. So maybe you could just tell us how do you approach it, or how does your institution approach this for new people? I imagine there's tons of resources, but let's maybe get it to the point of, like, if I'm a new faculty member, I'm a good teacher, but I haven't done this whole thing online. What are we talking about?
So we do have a faculty development training course that all new faculty go through. It covers things like the history and mission of our institution. It covers some sort of general pedagogy and andragogy because we are focused on adult students. And then it really drives faculty right into our learning management system. We use Brightspace. A lot of institutions would use Blackboard or Canvas, or some would use Moodle. But really getting the faculty accustomed to how to do blank, how to post a discussion board, how to engage students, how to provide feedback, really getting them into the learning management system right away. It would be the first thing we do.
Right. So for these faculty members who are now going online, connecting with their own support system that has been set up. And I imagine, actually, I know some of these people. I imagine those people who are supposed to be helping faculty are absolutely overwhelmed. Do you have any ideas about, if my, instructional designer is overwhelmed, what do I do next if I can't get that support?
Right. So this is going to sound silly, but when I don't know how to do something in my learning management system, I Google. So I will Google, how do I create quizzes in D2L, which is Desire to Learn or Brightspace. And there are really great resources online, both videos and sort of user manuals for step-by-step guides on how to do that. Um, Instructional designers really, well, they can help you with the LMS. They are more focused on creating a really enriching learner learning experience for students. And given the short timeline of what's going on now, they may not be your best resource, simply because of what their focus is.
Right. So interesting. Well, I can speak for our instructional designer. We have one, and I'm hopefully going to interview her for this. But she is being thrown into this, not this perfect, constructing these perfect pedagogical context and experiences, but really the raw stuff of like, what do I do now? So what's step one? So obviously, we can't have these we can't hold ourselves to this level of having these perfect online courses on such short notice. What can we do? What kinds of things would you be comfortable with if this was your institution and your faculty are all being asked to do this? What kinds of minimal things are you going for that would be, I guess, acceptable in higher education?
Right. So I have sort of four tips that kind of came to my mind as all this was going on. And the first thing is what I tell all my faculty is to really be organized. Be organized with the content you're putting into the class, be organized with your communication to students. Um, Write things down, take pen to paper, and create sort of a storyboard of what you want to do. What are your goals for that particular week, and how do you want to get there? And just be really clear. My second one is be really clear with your instructions and expectations for students. I expect you to be online at this time, or I expect you to turn this assignment in by this deadline. Just really sort of very clear with them. The third thing is to be wise. And what I mean by that is it's so tempting to go out and look for all these technology tools that are pretty and flashy and create multimedia experiences for students. And really, if you look at those people that have been teaching online for a long time, we're really more low tech. I do like multimedia experiences for my students, but um, I don't want them to have to wade through a lot of stuff to get to the course content, to get to what it is that I want them to do. So, really, especially in this time when we're trying to get online quickly, be smart, use text based information, communication with your students. And the last thing I wanted to say is to just be kind. Be kind to your students. It's a stressful situation, not only sort of what's going on in the world, but the fact that they're entering a learning platform they may not have any experience with. Um, Encourage them to be kind to you. Don't be afraid to say, this is my first experience teaching a class online, so I'm sort of learning as we go. Let me know what works for you and what's not working, what you need from me. And be kind to yourself. It doesn't have to be a perfect experience every time.
Well, thank you for that, and run us through those four again, just so we can get them into our memory. Go ahead.
I said, be organized, be clear, be wise, and be kind.
I love it. I love it. And what really resonates with me is what do you call it?
Low
Low
tech.
tech. Low tech. Yeah. Okay. So I have found that the time that it's very tempting, as you said, to go and find some tech tool that you think is going to solve a problem for you. LMSs often have some great options built into them already. I wouldn't go and try to learn something new that also has a steep learning curve.
Exactly.
Yeah. Jen, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it, and we'll talk soon.
Yep, absolutely. Take care.